Hello and welcome to my channel. During this week, I'm going to work on an OC, trying to explore drawing and painting, explore its shapes and forms. I already started a little bit just to get in the mood. I got some drawings. I prepared previously just so I had correct value tones, and what I'm going to do now is pick up the sketches I did traditionally. I took a picture and I placed them here in Photoshop, and I'm going to try to work a bunch of them during the week so that I get familiarized with the character and also understand better its form, because I did this first drawing. Let me just zoom in. That was the first sketch painting I did to get an idea about the character, the concept, and now I'm going to explore its forms, because one thing is to look at this flat 2D shape, another thing is to try to extrude the form and look at it all around the character. So it's a turnaround of the character, but done in a way that is going to allow me to know him better in terms of his forms. So that's specifically what I'm gonna do during the week. That's the first batch. I got others, but so the file wouldn't be too heavy. I separated them. I think I got 4 batches of several drawings of the same character, and that's what I'm going to explore every day during this week. I'm going to save this one. I am currently multicasting. That means I am streaming in several platforms, so from time to time I'm gonna have to check on the other platforms just so I don't miss anything. Or sometimes someone may ask a question in the chat and I want to be able to answer to everyone. Okay. Right. Everything seems to be working perfectly. I have this setup prepared. Everything is alright. So without any other ado, I think I'm gonna start to work on this thing. First off is working the values and trying to set them in their proper place. So I don't forcefully start with the painting because I have a photo editing background, and digitally I mean, and so I still have this reflex of going for editing first, the sketches, and paint after. So always trying to be as fast as possible without spending too much time in the starting phase. So basically I pick up the layer and I transformed it with the blending modes to get the color I want. Not that it's always necessary to go that way. Without spending too much time painting, in a third of the amount of time I'm able to set up what I need for the character. And in this case, for example, I already got the dark tone. I'm just going to do some fixes, some corrections. I got mistakes here. That's what I was talking about because I don't really know the character. I only have a 2D shape, and I'm gonna have to learn about him as I kind of model it into the something. Photoshop is always the same problem. That it's got a glitch with the brushes. That's an old thing I'm complaining every stream about. Just so you know. Take his time. I think I won't be using that tool anymore. Otherwise, I'm gonna spend all the time doing this, and that's not really the goal of this thing here. The goal is to do as much work as possible while streaming and not wasting too much time waiting for it to do tasks. Although it might happen either way. So right now I'm setting up that mid value that is part of his outfit. That this creature is an alien creature. I worked it for an art contest a while ago, but it was intended for my personal comic project. So now I'm going to work on some characters, doing the concept art for them, and hoping to start to set up. Let me just missing a letter. Okay, back to business. This one is, yeah, I was working the mid values. Cool, because in this sketch I did, the traditional sketch, I already set up the separation between the tones, so that's going to be a lot easier to work on that. It's basically, and it's part of the understanding of the character. I mean, when you're sketching, you're already trying to figure out how the form works and the equipment and such. I get the mid, I'm gonna just add this so that I can still visualize the lines, but I'm gonna go for a color that is more according to the first draft. It's a lot darker, but the dark is easy to convey. It's just a question of duplicating the layer, and there you go, it is already darker. Now I just have to find out a way. I don't think that's gonna work. No, not at all. I got some I usually use as a standard, but it doesn't mean that it always works, because I want the layer to be. I got another way to do this. You can always pick up the lines. In this phase, it's just a question of roughly setting it up. It's not doesn't matter if it's exact, but I can set up the most of the work before I paint. all the better. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go for that. I got the lines, what I need. Next, I think this one is mainly shaped up. Like that, better maybe. And maybe like that. So I spotted a mistake here. Like I made when I painted this one. Maybe I should erase that because it doesn't really have a head per se. Like he had a. I'm gonna struggle also. Oh, hey, Zialin. Sorry, man, I wasn't looking at the chat. How's it going? If I seem like ignoring, I apologize for that. You know, I'm doing all the stuff at the same time. Plus, on Tuesdays I multicast, so I'm doing the stream in 4 platforms at the same time. So my computer is gonna be slow as hell, and therefore sometimes I might forget to look at the chat. But I'll try to. I mean, if I am in a conversation, I will look at it every 3 seconds. If not, I usually zone out when I'm working. All right, that's good. That's the best thing to start is to feel good. So I'm gonna set up the darker values. I'm gonna have to go get them here, and I'm gonna set the values a little bit higher. All right, Celine. Feel free to interact when you want. When you want. I'll be here. So you did sorry, no, you did another cyborg today? Or was it yesterday? Have you posted already today any cyborg? That's what I wanted to ask you. And another thing I wanted to ask you, how do I really pronounce your name in order to not butchering it when I say to butcher it, because I don't know if it's pronounced Zialin or Xialin. What's the correct way, if you please? You do it before the Beyond stream. That's good. Usually I do my Inktober during his stream. Xialin is the correct way. Because that's why sometimes I don't interact too much because I'm drawing at the same time or doing something related while he's streaming. And the Inktober. All right, but you know, so just so you know, I don't want anyone to feel bad because I'm not pronouncing their name correctly. I always try to be as respectful as I can. Okay, that's darker. But that means you get up early. How long does it take to do one cyborg? I mean, by now you must be faster than I am. Okay. And I won't bother you anymore. I'm gonna let you lurk while I try to figure out this character. This one is good. This one is alright as well. 3 hours. That's cool. Look. Like I said, you are faster than me. Oh, by the way, I didn't show you the final result of the character I was doing during the weekend. You know, I messed. Okay, I messed up with the deadline for the 80s contest or challenge. The cactus, yeah. I'm gonna show you quickly. But speaking about the 80s challenge, art challenge, I messed up. I had it written in my schedule book, and I don't know, somehow I set it up to the end of the month. Turns out the deadline was the 25th, so I messed up and I lost I missed the deadline. I mean, but I posted it anyway. So right now I'm looking for the final file. I am gonna put it in the monitor just so it's here, J. Is a bit slow. Computer is a little slow because of the multicasting, so it takes a bit of time to get there. But I got it. It's open. Opening the file. There it is. I'm gonna try to put it in here just to show. Oh, you saw my entry for that one. Okay. Oh, I thought it was a bigger file. Turns out it's a small file. So that means I could have opened the other one. I always do different sizes depending on the final platform I'm gonna use it for. I take off this end that has nothing to do with the painting. Yeah, you are right about that, you know. Simplify. The important thing is to try to understand the form first, not really to do a major work with it. So here is the final version of the cactus monster. For Photoshop. That's what I ended up to come up with. And for the other challenge, I'm not gonna open the 300 DPI because it's too heavy. I work with when I work at 300 DPI, I work with really heavy, huge size. Yeah, I think if I spend a little bit more time, there are some things I could work a little bit more, and I think I'm gonna do that when I have some spare time. I'm gonna try to work more on certain details. That's the other one, the 80s contest. It shows on the right shoulder. Yeah, I'm gonna try to fix. They are exactly in the same place, and that's not really a good way to show it. Yeah, I'll check that out later. And that was the other one. I really enjoyed doing this one for the 80s theme. That was one of the projects I liked the most to work on. I mean, it's a bit rough in certain areas, but I wanted to have this painting rough, loosen painting feel to it, which 80s, 80s all the way. With the Terminator is a failed attempt to do a Van Damme cyborg. I think he doesn't look anything like Jean-Claude Van Damme, but oh well, forget about it. The funny thing for me in this that project was to bring DeLorean with in the Mad Max type of theme, mixing all the iconic movies of the 80s, and this one is an iconic movie, and Mad Max as well. The Road Warriors was an iconic movie from that decade. So I mixed the two in the car. And also, that's when the Mac computer, the first Mac appeared, I think, in the 80s. So kudos to one of the, if not the biggest company in the world, Apple. But so here is and the Walkman in the 80s. So, and the fall of the Berlin Wall, I think, right? If I'm not mistaken. All the important things that happened in that decade, they are in the painting. So that's it for that. I'm gonna get back to the concept. I'm gonna leave it here just in case I have to show it again. So back to the creature. What I was sad when I saw that I messed up with the deadline, but what can I do? So many things at the same time that I end up screwing up something difficult. So this one has got these values set up. I'm gonna just group so I don't lose anything. Done. So that's an OC, it's an original character of mine, and I am gonna work on some of those guys I have in my comic personal project. I worked this one for an art challenge, but I think I didn't post, except in terms of sketches. I think I posted this sketch, but I didn't post what I'm doing right now. And I'm working the concept, trying to understand the form of the character, how it works in terms of turnaround. And that's what I'm going to be doing during the week, trying to know the character, know his forms, and explore it best way I can. So it's basically sketch painting. That's done. I'm gonna take off those layers, those groups, and see if I have to work on something. I got his hand here. I don't think I need to paint another hand because I think it's Photoshop is trying to mess up the layers as per usual. Here I got some sketches I use as a reference to know some details of the character, but like I said, his hand has already been more or less worked here. So when I'll do an illustration about the character, I can always use this as a reference. Here I explored that dark line he's got in his costume, and also the shape of his helmet, which by the way is got kind of two wings here that assemble on top of his head when he's not flying, but when he goes to flying, those wings separate. So that's a function I will try to illustrate later on. And I think I'm gonna leave this one for today. In terms of sketches, those are good enough. So I'm gonna go get the second batch and see if I can explore other drawings. Those two work well to see a 3/4 view and the side view of the character. And I'm just gonna check out if I get something sketched with the character using his wings. Okay, so where is it? Right here. Looking for the file. Looking for the file. Creature, where are you? I found it. Sketch 1. Oh yeah, okay, I get it. So I think I'm gonna have to close that one because the other one is a lot heavier. I'm gonna alternate anyway, just so just to check out if Photoshop can handle it. I can see that VLC don't handle it that well. A bit heavy for it. But if Photoshop can, that would be a good thing. Alright. Just checking the other platforms. It's moving really slowly. Back. I think it's not opening. I don't know what's happening. He's got. I have the info that it is supposed to be opening, but try again. Right? Is the only way. Sketch 1. Let me try something else. I'll get it eventually. It's opening. So no biggie. Really heavy. I think I'm going to name them. That would be a good idea. I got sketch 1 done. I'm gonna take that one off because it's been worked. I'm gonna throw it away. Batch 2. It's got other details, but essentially it's the same format. I think the only thing that matters here is the contouring. So I'm gonna save it. First. Oh, that's not what I intended to do. There you go. On your way. That's the second sketch. Hello. That's what it is. Hey Fulford, how's it going? Exposing secret project folders on Twitch. No, those are not secret. The secret ones, if they are really well hidden, you won't see those. But okay, so that's one creature concept sketch 2. I'm gonna see what's in the other batches now that okay, the wings, the sketches are here, so I'm gonna name this one. Now that he has a name, it's just a matter of changing the. I can do like that so that it doesn't interfere. It won't interfere with the open file. It will save it without substituting. No, I don't know the word. Without making a substitute of the open file. Maybe that's how I should do it. Say it. Anyway, it's slow. Okay, that's the third. Off you go. And the fourth one, wings as well. So I'm gonna save this one as well. I'm gonna name it correctly. And same thing here as a copy. That way you will save it. Okay. Oh, I thought it would be slower. So that's the number 2. I'm gonna get rid of those batches so I can turn the file a little bit more light. As you can see, as he is saving, all the other resources are stopped. The sound stopped working. I mean the VLC. You can't hear the music anymore. At least I can't hear it. That's garbage for this file. Don't need it. I'm gonna keep that. That's garbage as well. I'm gonna concentrate on those drawings. See what I can explore. Don't need that one. That was to understand the form in 3 dimensions. I usually do that contouring, just so I get a better understanding of how the form turns. When I look at this, I already know, for me, personally, I know what this means in terms of the form turning. That's a foot. That's the creature in, I think I'm gonna start with that one. It's an upper view. I think it, no, up view, no, a down view of the character. Just so I can understand better how the wings work. But I think I should exaggerate a little bit the perspective. Like that. Not so much, maybe. And I'm gonna clean it now. Doing some cleaning and get it ready for paint. So maybe it's gonna work better if I do like that. It's a lot simpler. So how's it going, Fluffert? Are you making art as well? And when I say as well, I mean also. I'm not comparing. If you're working on anything right now, so that's gonna be like that. So I do it that way so I don't have to use the razor tool because it's like using a brush. It will only take longer to do the job. Now I'm seeing that I forgot about his arm here when I was sketching. Totally forgot his arm. So I'm gonna just erase this faster. It's done. Okay. It's done. Well, when it is done when it is done, right? I get the form. Just going to erase a little bit more of those negative spaces. Like that. Quick. I could use the round selection tool, the round lasso tool, but fails a lot. And specifically when I'm streaming, it's a real nightmare. That's why I will correct the forms eventually when I'm painting. But that's it. So the character is ready for the next phase. The sketch is ready for the next phase. I haven't used that brush for a long time now. I painted with that brush for the longest time during maybe last year. I only painted with that brush, but then I discovered others and I kind of got used to the others and I forgot about this one. But for sketch, it's one of my favorite. Sketch and cleaning when I am rendering, I enjoy that brush a lot. It's like a cotton stick. It paints, sketch, and do everything, and it's smooth, and it is fast. So it's got all the attributes that are important to make faster work. There are lots of brushes that are so heavy, but when I'm streaming, I don't even think about using them. But that one is one of the best I have. Trying to remember where I found it. No, it's not lagging. It looks like it, but here on my computer, it's painting all right. You know, it's faster than the one I was using yesterday. I think yesterday there was a lag. Per excellence, big time. So I thought about trying this one today to see how it would behave, and so far I think it's doing a good job, at least in my monitor here. While I am working, I don't feel like it's lagging much than the other one yesterday. Much more, maybe nothing at all. So I don't know if I have I don't have the value chart for this one, but I already know it. I don't think I'm gonna need. No, I don't I'm gonna create a new layer and I'll paint the other value. I almost know it by heart. So that's the other color. Once it gets familiar, it's easier to paint the character because you already know where things are going to get in place. It's going to be easier. That's a dark, that's a clear shade here for his hand. This one as well. I'm gonna have to work on this end. Well, if I mess up, I just have to repeat, but I think I'm going the right way in terms of values. I get the impression that this is the correct one. What's gonna worry me a bit more is his wings. Work his wings in terms of volumetrics. That's gonna be the more difficult part to tackle, but I think I'll get it. I have to. That's part of concepting. You have to come up with solutions in terms of functionality and hopefully some logical functions. This one is ready. That's it. Try to keep the lines because when I start to model it, I will use those lines to build the form. And that's important here. That shape here is really important to define his wings shape. So I'm just going to duplicate this one, use it on top to try to bring the lines even more. Oh, it works. Just gonna raise a little bit and maybe take off the clear parts because I don't really need that. Clean the whites off the lines. Just need the lines, more or less. So that's another one done, ready for the painting. Next one. I don't think I'm gonna do this one because it is too similar to the batch one. Only thing is the foot, but I already have the foot here. I just have to pick this one and repeat it in here. Maybe I'm just gonna cut it out from one place to the other and job done. Would be a waste of time to paint the character if I already have it done. But even though I can take advantage of the turning contours somehow. Could be a good idea. You can see I did a lot of sketches of this character. Spent a lot of time, not only this one, many others, but I never finished them. I got from 3 years ago a huge amount of droids and characters I drew for the comic project, and they have been sitting in a folder for that long. But now I'm gonna try to work them all in that concepting phase of my comic. I mean, I already have, I think, 16 pages on my comic project because I was doing the concept as I went for the story. That means the concepting part is not finished. I work as I go, try to work on the project. Otherwise, I'd still be waiting. But those are gonna be grind on stream. Not all of them, but some of them. Okay, I'm gonna leave this one. Maybe I could just paint that, just so I have the. Oh, okay, I know what's going on. Now it's not painting. Usual problem with the brushes in Photoshop. I need to kind of convince him that it's time to do something. Maybe now everything is. No, I don't understand that. Try to figure it out. I don't give up. Just do it like that. Faster. For now. I will correct it eventually. Not even there. What's wrong? I'm in the right layer. Sometimes I don't even want to understand what's going on. But there's a logic. Multiply. Normal. You can do another layer. Easiest way. That will work for sure. So what I want is this one. It did work, see? Just not that one. That one. Yep. Okay. Finito. One more. Just gonna set it inside the folder. As I was saying, this one is gonna stand. I'm not even gonna work it out. I already got that 3/4 view of the character in the first batch, but I will just leave it here for contouring purpose. I'm gonna try to work that, the foot, the detail of his boot or his foot. That's something I think I'm gonna have to work on. Just gonna cut out what I don't need, just briefly, but I'll get back. And out of the way. As well. Weather is strange here. Man, I mean, the temperature dropped suddenly. I think it was from Sunday to Monday, but I mean, 7 degrees drop just from night to the next day. It's a huge temperature drop. We're not really used to that. It's been warm most of the time. I was kind of worrying as well because the temperatures were still in the 23 degrees, but it felt cool, so wasn't complaining. But dropping 7 degrees just like that, so I guess we're of summer, definitely. Yeah. I'm gonna use this one. Just going to get some color, some tone here. And I think I'm gonna use this one. Now the challenge is going to be, no, it is painting, that's okay. I thought it would be more difficult to convince Photoshop to paint, because once you use the lasso tool and you have to go back to the paint tool, the brush tool, usually it doesn't recognize it anymore. That's what happened most of the time. I'll try to figure out if there is a solution for it. And I mean, if I only use the native brushes that Photoshop has, I'd like to experiment and see if they are affected as well in the same manner, or if it's exclusive to brushes I find online. Some of them, by the way, are impossible to use in my Photoshop. They just won't work, or they are too heavy, or it's glitching constantly. There's a problem there. Okay, I got enough of this one. Still not to be. Today I'm already setting up. If I have time, I will start painting one of them, but it's just a setup, prep, the prep. Just so I put everything in place. That was due to be done yesterday, but because I still had to finish the art challenge, I didn't start this one. I'm gonna save it when it's sketch 2 done. I'm gonna go for the sketch 3, 2, 4, 3. Easier. Easier. Alright, save it. You might hear the neighbors, so I apologize for that. At some point, they are really loud, and I don't understand sometimes how people can be so loud. I mean, I'm not the exception. Sometimes I'm loud as well, but I think they push the bar limit. Okay, so I got it. I'm gonna close this one, and I'm going to open the number 3 and work those. The wings, that's what I am really interested in for this character, is his wings. I want to try to mix two genres in those characters of my comic story. I'm not really keen on fantasy. I like more the sci-fi realm, but I'd like to explore, although, the fantasy world in a sci-fi environment, and I think could be an opportunity with this character to do that. But he's not really the sci-fi type in terms of design. That's number 2 is gone. That's gone as well. I don't need those wires. Trying to make it as less heavy as possible. Traveling light. Bash 3 is here. Bash 4 is in another file on it. Got a smaller file. And there you go. I'm not gonna mess with this one. Is a 3/4. I'm gonna go straight for the wings. Don't really like the exploration sketch, but I'm gonna try to fix all that. Okay. I'm gonna cut off the negative space. Be faster. I will eventually have to do another cleaning pass because it's a rough erasing here, so I'm just trying to get out what I don't need. Get it off. Sketch. And use the control form as a silhouette later on. I'm just trying to cut corners instead of spending time painting endlessly something. I'm a lot faster editing shapes and painting over them later. That also has somehow to do with the fact that I'm more comfortable editing photographs and photo bashing. So then I tend to apply, it's intuitive to me, I tend to apply those ways of working before I start painting. If I was faster at painting, I'd do the other way around. But because I'm not still yet at that level, I have to go with what I have, you know? And I think that's one of the reasons they use so many photo bash in studios, because before you commit to a painting, you need to be really sure if that's the way you want to go. And during the day, I mean, it's a lot faster to photo bash 3-4 scenes than having to paint 3-4 scenes in a day and then opting for one of them. Or sometimes repeat because none of them is there yet. Yeah, that's the shape. I thought it wasn't. There you go. I think I'm gonna move it. Try to complete the wing. I don't want this thing to be, and the foot as well. If I do that right, this could be an interesting painting to use then as a flash art or of some sort. Flash skin or whatever. Something to inspire. So there you go. Edit this fast. I'm going to paint these values. I think I'm going to do something different here just so it's more practical, because the file is open. I'm going to work like that. I'm going to pass those drawings. I got it right. I'm going to pass those drawings because they got the values on them. It's going to help me a lot more if they are here. It's already shaped. Front, 3/4 front and 3/4 back are sketched, more or less. I might have to exaggerate a little bit these arms because I want him to have huge arms. And those are small details that will be worked on later. I think I don't need anything else on this one. So I'm going back to the step here. I'm gonna paint that. Multiply. I might have to change it. Right now, I'm gonna paint. I select select those values, and there you go. You know, the usual problem. He won't paint. I'm gonna have to convince Photoshop that he needs to paint, needs to use he's got those things, he's got those glitches that this doesn't happen when I am doing it offline. It's only happening when I am streaming. But at some interference, maybe from the OBS software. I don't know really what's the reason. I just know that sometimes it's really annoying. I can spend here all day. Maybe if I choose another brush, I think it might resolve the problem. You see, it already. Damn it! Come on, work with me. Now he's doing straight lines, but that's a start. You select something else outside and see if when I come back it's really stupid. I mean, it's getting worse by the day. It usually has this problem, but it's not as pronounced. It ends up working the third time, but today, right now, is really messing with my patience. Okay. I think I'm gonna have to close that file. To be heavier, too heavy. It starts accumulating. Brush history, and I have discovered that this makes somewhat a difference. I know it can be undone, but do it. Don't worry about it. Just do it. Guys, I'm gonna do a break, 2 minutes. I'll be right back. Set up a different solution here to see if I can get a better working from Photoshop. Okay. Let's see if it makes any progress in terms of function. If this helps. Tu m'entends si je parle dans le stream ou t'as pas le son? Juste pour faire une expérience là, pour voir. Parce que je suis en train de parler anglais dans le stream, mais je peux parler en français aussi, ça dépend de qui surgit là sur la plateforme. Tu m'entends? Super. Comme ça, j'ai pas à écrire, tu comprends? Ça m'évite d'écrire parce que je suis en train de faire le stream en multicast et je suis en 4 plateformes et je dois toujours aller voir si quelqu'un dit quelque chose et si je parle, c'est plus facile. Mais ouais, moi aussi, je coupe le son normalement. Mais si ça te dérange pas trop, je suis en train de voir les autres plateformes, il se passe rien d'important. Donc je vais mettre le Picarto en évidence. Voilà, comme ça, si tu veux, on peut discuter, tu peux poser des questions si tu veux et je vais faire ça. C'est un OC pour mon projet personnel de BD. C'est l'un des personnages. Et là, j'ai un petit problème avec Photoshop parce qu'il voulait pas. Il perd la notion des pinceaux, quoi. Ce qui arrive, c'est que si je fais quelque chose hors Photoshop, quand j'y reviens, les pinceaux ne marchent plus. Il faut que je fasse des manœuvres, voilà, pour le convaincre. Tu vois, il fait un point et après il fait une ligne droite et c'est tout ce qu'il fait. Il fait plus rien. J'ai pas encore découvert pourquoi ça arrive. Ça arrive que quand je suis quand j'ai OBS branché. À part ça, tout marche normalement. C'est OBS qui fout tout en l'air là. C'est trop lourd. Ah, tu déménages sur Twitch? Tu déménages sur Twitch? Tu vas pas continuer sur Picarto? Ah bah d'accord, mais bah, c'est bien. Je vais te chercher après sur Twitch. Je vais te donner un follow. Et, comme ça, quand tu fais ton stream, je saurai. Si ça te dérange pas, hein. Bon, il est lent, mais il fait quand même le boulot. Moi, je crois qu'il a surchauffé. Parce que l'ordinateur, des fois, je sais pas qu'est-ce qui se passe, il surchauffe. Et quand il surchauffe, rien ne marche. Et je crois que ça a à voir avec ça. Parce que j'ai une mesure de température là, il dit qu'il a 55 degrés. Et normalement, pour que tout marche bien, il ne peut pas dépasser les 53. À partir du moment que ça passe les 53, c'est fichu d'avance, quoi. Ah ouais? Pourquoi, hein? Lance le lien, j'ai pas compris là, Anna. Si tu peux expliquer ce que tu veux dire. Tu veux mon lien, c'est ça? De Twitch? Et tu dis que Picarto, ça commence à t'agacer. Et c'est quoi le problème avec Picarto? Si ça te dérange pas que je te pose des questions, hein. Moi, je suis seulement en train d'essayer de comprendre, c'est tout. Alors, le personnage, que je fasse pas de bêtises avec les valeurs tonales. Ah, c'est un doigt, ça. Il a des doigts de pieuvre. Non, il a un doigt de pieuvre. Seulement un doigt. C'est le pouce. Il a la forme de une pieuvre. Il y a des mots en français que j'ai complètement oubliés. J'ai le même problème en français que j'ai en anglais. Il y a des mots que en français j'ai oublié. En anglais, je les ai jamais su. Mais et des fois, il faut que je réfléchisse en portugais, je fasse la traduction en français pour traduire en anglais. Tu vois le problème. Ah, il y a du bruit chez toi. D'accord. J'espère que je te dérange pas, hein. Ah. Ah, ça c'est. Là, je crois que j'ai fait une bêtise. La valeur tonale, elle n'est pas correcte. Non, elle n'est pas correcte du tout. Faut réparer ça. Tu veux que je repose les questions ou que je t'ai posées tout à l'heure? Je te dérange pas? Bon, c'est bien. C'est déjà ça. Alors, ça là, c'est pas bien. Tu étais en train de dire que Picarto t'agace. Tu veux, ou si tu veux pas en parler, ça fait rien. Moi, je trouve seulement que c'est plus difficile non. C'est plus difficile d'avoir une audience sur Picarto. C'est ça que je trouve plus bête, je vais dire comme ça. Et puis après, il y a certaines perks dans le Twitch qui sont gratuits et chez Picarto, presque tout doit être payé. Pas vraiment une solution viable. D'accord. Je m'excuse il va falloir que tu utilises ton clavier, mais ah, le site il bug énormément. Bah tu sais, moi avec j'utilise un Mac. J'ai pas tellement de problèmes dans ce domaine. Il bug pas. Mais c'est seulement pour être franc là, complètement franc, j'ai plus de vues de mes vidéos sur Picarto que j'ai sur Twitch. Mais j'ai que 6 suiveurs sur Picarto. Et ça fait quoi? Depuis, je sais pas si c'est janvier ou février dernier que j'ai commencé. Ça monte pas vraiment. Bon, ça se peut que ce que je fais, c'est pas intéressant du tout aussi, hein. Faut quand même comprendre que les gens, ils ont pas tous les mêmes goûts. On va pas imposer qu'ils sont obligés de venir voir, sinon on casse la vaisselle. Chacun fait ce qu'il veut. Et il regarde ce qu'il aime voir. Ouais, c'est une plateforme qui est pas aussi solide, je vais dire comme ça, que Twitch. Peut-être parce qu'ils sont en train d'utiliser quelque chose qui ressemble à Twitch. Parce que je crois que Picarto, c'est postérieur à Twitch. Et Picarto, si je me trompe pas, c'est européen peut-être, non? Je crois que Picarto, c'est pas américain. Alors, laisse-moi voir que je fasse pas de bêtises. Ça doit être Overlay. Non, ça doit être Multiply. Pas non plus. Je me rappelle plus le que j'ai utilisé comme. Ah, c'est celui-là. Entre 22h et 4h. Intéressant, ouais, c'est vrai. Moi, je vais essayer quand même de faire des streams le soir que sur Picarto pour voir si j'arrive à me faire plus d'audience. Et après, on verra à partir de là ce que ça donne. Mais je dis ça tout le temps, j'y pense, et après, j'ai fini par pas le faire parce que j'ai d'autres choses à faire. Mais je vais essayer de m'y mettre franchement, juste pour voir si ça fait la différence. Mais moi, personnellement, j'aime mieux Twitch. Tout le monde s'est barré sur Twitch. J'avais du monde qui regarde, ils se sont tous cassés. Non, ils sont là. C'est ce qu'on appelle le lurking. By the way, oh, I'm sorry, Flufford. Man, I'm not trying to ignore you. You know, I speak three languages, and I am speaking with someone in another platform, which, by the way, speaks French. So I'm really, really sorry, dude. I'm not trying to, but thanks to remind me. Je ne comprends pas. I think you do. If you can type "je ne comprends pas," that means you understand something in French because you spelled it right. No, not YouTube, Picarto. YouTube is silent. The only person that appeared on YouTube was a Russian guy. I think someone else I don't remember right now. But that's about the audience I have in YouTube. Is someone coming up every half a year? I mean, I am a nobody, you know. I'm not expecting miracles in terms of audiences, but I can you can only read French decently. Listening is too hard. I'm sorry, dude. I'm gonna try to do the mix between French and English. I'm not going to ignore you because that's not the point here. The point is to have a conversation with everybody. Le public américain, moi j'ai gagné du public en prospectant dans les autres streams, mais ça fait beaucoup de boulot en plus. Tu sais, je fais exactement la même chose et je suis exactement d'accord sur ce point-là. Parce que c'est vraiment du boulot en trop, hein. Quand tu t'en aperçois, t'as passé quoi, 2-3 heures que t'as rien foutu et t'es seulement en train de faire de la recherche, quoi. C'est du prospect, mais ça fait partie, hein. Tu sais que, je vais pas dire ça, chacun est un individu, on va dire comme ça, mais si tu veux savoir, il va y avoir personne qui va dire tu fais comme ça, comme ça, comme ça, comme ça, et c'est fait. Donc il faut que tu y arrives par toi-même. Presque tout dans la vie, c'est comme ça. Il n'y a vraiment pas des indications comme sur la route. Ce que tu dois faire, c'est lire des trucs sur Google et des trucs comme ça pour y arriver. Mais si tu as besoin d'aide dans quelques domaines, je suis sur Twitch déjà depuis un bout de temps, et si tu as des doutes ou tu veux savoir quelque chose que je sache, parce que je sais pas tout non plus, ben je peux t'aider là-dessus. Ça t'évitera de passer du temps à faire de la recherche, parce qu'elle est déjà faite. Si ça peut t'éviter de perdre 2 heures là-dessus, ben moi ça me dérange pas de t'aider. Au contraire. Alors la couleur, là, la valeur. Je vais essayer de parler les deux langues parce que j'ai sur Twitch une autre personne qui est en train de parler dans le chat et de rien. C'est rien de spécial, hein. Et puis de toute façon, si tu vas déménager, peut-être que moi je fais le stream tous les jours. Tu m'as demandé de te lancer le lien tout à l'heure du mien. Et de toute façon, tu peux faire la recherche. Moi d'habitude, je vais en haut, je fais la recherche, je mets le nom. Et sur Twitch, ils ont un bon système. Ils trouvent tout de suite que par le nom qui c'est. Ouais, attends. Je sais pas si les mecs ils vont être embêtés avec ça là. Ah, j'ai un autre problème là. S'il commence à pleuvoir vachement, il va falloir que j'enlève le son parce que ça s'entend trop. Tu sais, j'ai qu'un couvert là-dessus. Ça, c'est une partie qui a été annexée à la baraque juste pour moi. Quoi, c'est comme si c'était une selle. Et quand il pleut, ça s'entend vachement. Euh, Attends, où est-ce qu'il est? Il est là. J'espère que Picarto va pas s'embêter parce que je mets un lien de la concurrence. Ils vont, ils vont me bannir peut-être. Ça, c'est mon lien. Je vais voir un petit peu du côté de Twitch. Trouver. C'est bien là. Dans ce cas-là, je vais laisser le Picarto ouvert quand même. Mais je vais mettre la fenêtre sur Twitch. C'est plus facile, tu sais. Comme ça, si tu parles et Fluffart speaks as well, I will be able to answer each one in French and one in English, if that doesn't bother you guys. Okay? To me, it's only an opportunity to exercise the two languages. Ah oui, ça doit être un autre masque. And I am thinking about learning Chinese Mandarin. That's something I've been thinking about for some time now. I think it's a language that is growing worldwide, and I'd like to learn to speak Chinese as well. I think it's going to be a little bit more difficult because it's not an easy language to speak. And there is a specific pronunciation for words. You can say something that's not so nice and thinking you are saying something different. It's okay for you? Alright. Yeah, but I like to exercise the French as well, you know. During the day, I mainly listen to stuff in French. Sometimes I listen to radio, or I watch a documentary done by TF1, and that's how I keep the French alive. But it's better if you have the opportunity to speak to someone in the language. That's a better exercise. This character, I think that sketch is a more interesting presentation for him. It's starting to rain a lot. By the way, please tell me if the rain interferes with the sound and it's too loud. Please tell me, so I might have to shut down the mic, because I don't want it to be a burden for anyone who is listening, because the rain is starting to take dimensions, taking space. Okay, so the values, I only need the darks, but I think this one could be a little bit lighter. Yeah, I feel like that. It's easier than to work the shadows. Otherwise, I'm gonna have a character that is too how can I say that? There is not enough variation between the tones. I want him to be a dark character, but not so much. Trying to find the right balance. I heard something. Let me see what happened. Doesn't select the window. Oh, Anacham, merci de me suivre sur Twitch. Je vais te chercher aussi, voir si je te trouve et je te donnerai un follower. Comme ça, quand tu seras live, je pourrai toujours, si je suis pas en train de faire mon stream, je pourrai toujours aller faire une visite. Donc, merci bien. Je vais traduire. Thank you very much for the follow, Anachan. Je vais pas traduire ton nom du français parce que le reste c'est pas. Et puisque j'en parle là, pourquoi tu mets Anachan la gamine? C'est un surnom, c'est toi qui as choisi de mettre ça ou des fois on se trouve des idées comme ça pour se mettre des noms. Moi par exemple, moi personnellement, mon nom que j'utilise là, c'est un pseudonyme que j'utilise pour l'art digital. Et je l'ai fait suivant une formule de Star Wars. Il y avait une formule que j'ai vue sur internet qui disait comment tu transformes ton nom dans un nom du film Star Wars. Et il y a une formule et j'ai suivi la formule et ça a donné le nom que tu vois. Holmes Ronoy, c'est le nom qui est sorti de la formule. Ils ont une technique, c'est utiliser 3 lettres, les 3 premières lettres du nom, les 2 dernières lettres du nom de famille, les 3 premières lettres de l'endroit où tu es né. Bon, tu fais comme ça, c'est une formule dans ce genre, et à la fin ça donne ce nom-là. Tu devrais peut-être essayer avec la formule, avec ton nom, et voir si ça va te faire un nom Star Wars. Moi, c'est ce que j'ai fait pour le mien. J'ai trouvé l'idée marrante. Alright, so values. Back to the values. I can see I was avoiding to paint in this area, but now I'm looking at it and it's exactly the same value. So I was doing that for nothing. But afterwards, I'm gonna have to paint it anyway. I just have to select the right color, which is gonna be a problem now. Because I get this layer here, it's gonna complicate things. That's typical. He suddenly erases every layer that is underneath. That's another glitch. I just found out. He erases everything. It erases everything. Every layer. Problem with the glitches. Oh d'accord, écoute, moi j'ai suggéré parce que j'ai trouvé l'idée intéressante, mais ça veut pas dire que tu dois le faire. Hein. Alors, Star Wars, c'est vraiment pas ton truc, c'est ça? Moi, j'avoue que c'est le premier film depuis gamin, le premier film de science-fiction qui m'a intéressé, ça n'a pas été Star Wars. Il y avait un programme de télé à l'époque, ça fait déjà longtemps, ça s'appelait L'avenir du futur, et il passait des films de science-fiction. Je crois que c'était le lundi soir, si je me rappelle bien, ça fait déjà vachement longtemps. Et Et c'était les films qui passaient dans ce programme qui pour moi étaient la science-fiction. J'ai connu Star Wars que plus tard et j'ai trouvé l'histoire fascinante. Ça va prendre trop de temps. Tu m'avais déjà dit que toi tu aimais mieux le genre. Attends, laisse-moi voir si je me rappelle. Euh, dans le genre fantasy, heroic fantasy, c'était ça. Que j'aime bien aussi d'ailleurs. Et dans le cas du personnage que je suis en train de faire là, c'était justement, j'avais dans l'intérêt de construire un personnage qui est un mélange entre la fantasy, le style fantasy et le style science-fiction. Je vais essayer de voir si j'arrive à mélanger les deux genres. Je vais pas vraiment dans le sens de la magie, parce que dans la science-fiction, je crois que ça colle pas, on va dire comme ça. Mais si tu trouves une logique scientifique pour des aspects qui ont à voir avec la magie, tu sais, dans mon idée, c'est que la magie, ça donne une idée que les gens ignorent comment c'est fait. Tandis que dans la science-fiction, il y a une formule technique, il y a une certaine compréhension du thème, et donc s'il y a une logique, elle n'est pas forcément expliquée, mais s'il y a une logique, c'est plus facile à digérer en termes de lecture, je pense. Voilà, essayer de trouver une logique et au lieu d'appliquer la magie qui donne un sens un petit peu médiéval, tu sais, la magie, c'est les gens ils y comprennent rien, ils voient un truc et ils disent il a fait de la sorcellerie ou de la magie. C'est dans ce sens que je vois les choses. Et si c'est scientifique, ça peut être magique quand même, mais c'est scientifique. Et s'il y a une explication logique, je crois que ça marche mieux. Je trouve quoi. Je suis en train de dire pour mon histoire là, l'histoire que je suis en train de développer. Ça c'est trop. Ça s'entend la pluie? Si. Tiens raison. Ah c'est super ça. Ça s'entend ouais. Je peux rien faire. Je peux pas lui dire d'arrêter. J'aimerais bien avoir ce pouvoir de dire comme ça. Tu vas pleuvoir là-bas, mais tu pleures pas ici. Bon mais si ça dérange, tu le dis. J'écris sur le chat. Je j'enlève le son. Je veux pas déranger. Parce que t'as la musique, t'as moi qui parle, et maintenant t'as la pluie qui accompagne. Donc c'est une symphonie un petit peu bruiteuse, quoi. By the way, Clifford, if you have any question, you can type it on the chat, and I will try to answer as best as I can. Just so you know, I'm not ignoring you, right? So I got the basic values for this character. I'm not gonna mess around with it anymore. It's good to go. Prep is done. The keyboard is not working. Un petit fond ménager, d'accord. J'ai essayé d'arranger le... Comment je vais dire? J'ai essayé d'arranger les settings de Twitch pour que le son il capte pas les alentours. Il y a une façon de... J'ai fini par lire quelque chose sur Google au sujet et j'ai trouvé une information intéressante qu'on pouvait faire des arrangements pour que il ne capte que la voix et pas les sons autour. Je sais pas vraiment comment ils font ça, quoi. Des fois, tu vois, ça c'est de la magie. Parce que je comprends pas du tout comment ils y arrivent. Et tu mets tu coches des carrés et ça marche. Ça c'est de la magie. Et c'est de la science en même temps, tu vois. Il y a une logique qu'on comprend pas, mais ça marche. Ça me fait rappeler le dernier film de Transformers. Ils ont pris une version médiévale, historique, comme si les Transformers, les personnages, ils avaient déjà existé sur Terre à l'époque médiévale. Et j'ai trouvé intéressant la liaison qu'ils ont fait. Et c'est dans ce sens, pour l'époque, c'était de la magie. Mais pour notre époque, c'est de la science, quoi. Et de la science-fiction. J'imagine, dans cette époque, ils en ont peut-être brûlé pas mal de gens parce qu'ils étaient plus intelligents scientifiquement, mais tout était considéré de la sorcellerie. Il y a pas mal de monde qui a dû cramer à cause. On voit bien, hein, les civilisations, elles n'ont pas toujours été données au progrès. Hein. Ça a pris du temps. Attends, ah, j'ai oublié un truc là. Je vois par exemple Galilée, c'est un mec vachement avancé pour son époque. J'imagine ce qu'il aurait découvert si on l'aurait laissé, si on lui aurait foutu la paix et on lui aurait laissé faire ses découvertes, quoi. Je crois que c'est Galilée, qu'on dit en français. En portugais, c'est Galileo. Et des femmes? Qu'est-ce que tu veux dire là? J'ai oublié quelque chose. Et des femmes, ouais. Quand j'étais en train de dire qu'il y a des gens qui ont dû brûler, ah ouais, là t'as raison. Pas mal de femmes ont été injustement brûlées peut-être parce que... Mais tu sais, il y a plus de jalousie entre les femmes qu'il y a entre les hommes. Les hommes, ils sont plus compétitifs, mais les femmes, la jalousie, ça, c'est un problème. Hein. Et alors, à l'époque, j'imagine que s'il y aurait une femme ou plus belle ou plus intelligente, l'autre, elle irait automatiquement se plaindre qu'il y avait une sorcière dans le village. Elle pouvait pas être belle à l'époque, j'imagine quoi. Ça devait être dur. Si tu t'es pas né dans un berceau d'or, j'imagine que ça aurait été compliqué. Hein. Mais bon, c'est l'histoire qu'on a. Hein. Ça a seulement commencé à améliorer vraiment, et je dis qu'il y a encore du progrès à faire, mais ça a commencé à s'améliorer vraiment à partir des années 80, je crois. C'est là que les choses ont commencé à... Je vais même pas compter les années 60-70 parce qu'il y avait trop de drogue au mélange et ils savaient pas ce qu'ils étaient en train de faire. C'était trop... Il y avait trop d'herbes au mélange. Mais à partir des années 80, ça a commencé à s'améliorer un peu. Ok. Now I'm gonna leave this one and see if I get another sketch. I'm gonna explore this wing. I think that's the only shape I have about the wing. So gonna try to explore. I don't like really the idea of the wing. I don't want the wings to look too evident. I have to find another type of shape to make it look original, because it's an original character. I'm gonna try to find something different, maybe in the style of leaves, tree leaves. Trying to find a shape of a tree leaf that could work as a wing for the character, like if it was a plant he had in his back that provides the flying ability. Ah man, that would be, I don't know if it's really original. Tomorrow I'm gonna find out it's been used in another game somewhere. I wasn't just aware of it. It has happened before. Ah d'accord, Anna, merci d'être venue me visiter. Merci. On parlera plus tard. Salut. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna clean it, even if I'm not, I won't use it for the concepting, but I'm gonna work some iterations, and I'll use that sketch as a starting point and see what I can come up with in terms of shape. That's it. If I can finish that today during the stream, prepping those sketch batches, that will be an achievement. If not, well, there's always tomorrow. But I got almost 2 hours streaming, and I'm already in the third sketch batch, so I think it's not going too bad. That's another one. I'm gonna have to move the creature aside, just so I... Oh man, now I got everything in the same folder. Need to separate those things. This one is off. Which one is... Ah, the creature is here. Okay, I'm gonna name it. Sometimes I find that I name things as if I was programming, but it has nothing to do, it's just to be faster at writing. I don't even use the vocals sometimes. I only use the... what's the word? Consonants. Is that the word? I think there's a language, if I remember correctly. There's a language that doesn't use the vocals, the vowels. Oh man, I'm not even going to try to translate the word. So anyway, that's how I name things. Do it faster. Now the wing, I don't know if I'm gonna have time to see that today, but I'll try. Maybe not. I'm gonna go for the fourth sketch batch and clean up some sketches. Prep them as well. Okay. You know, now I think I discovered a new thing about the problem with the stream. I think it has to do much more with the temperature of the computer. Because I had to set up a fan behind it when it started to get too hot. And it's not even the good kind of hot. But when it gets to 54, 55 degrees Celsius, it interferes with the proper functioning of the computer. And a while back, when I was having problem with the brush, it was at 56 degrees. So I turned on the fan. Now it's the computer is at 47 degrees and it's looking and working fine. So the major problem might be the temperature. That's another setback that is easy to correct, at least. So all that contributes for a smoother stream. I've seen other people while streaming that have the same problem. OBS starting failing all over the place, and now I'm starting to realize that it really has something to do with the temperature of the machine. It has nothing to do with software. It has to do everything with hardware. So I saved. Now I'm gonna open the other file. Where is it? I kept it here. I will close. I had to get some things from this one first. Number 4. There is a movie called Number 4. But in my computer it's just a file. A sketch. Number 4. Yeah, take your time. Get all day. You got all day waiting on your Photoshop. Come on. I've seen you work faster. It's not even an AV file. Well, 300 is nothing. I'm gonna start by cleaning all the folders that are not needed here, just so it's not too heavy. Off. I don't know what it is. I'm just gonna put them off. Oh yeah, I got another version of the wing. Oh, that's cool. So for the iteration, but then again, you know, I don't want that. I don't think it works. I'm gonna try to come up with different ideas, but that's a start. So it's a little bit boring today in the stream because I'm just cleaning sketches and stuff like that. I'm not really painting. I don't think, or I don't know if you get to learn anything about it. Something that is interesting anyway. You don't have the boobs, you don't have that stuff that usually people like to watch on stream, but it's a concept. That's what I'm doing here. Not saying that I'm doing anything important, but that's the same thing Da Vinci did 500 years ago when he was concepting this, or any concept artist. Trying to figure out his invention, his creation. Okay, I'm gonna start with this one first. Interesting shapes. I like the shapes of this character. I hope I'm able to do something interesting with it. Artistically, I mean. so the darker. Oh, I think I better cut it off first. Cut the negative space. Now I'm gonna clean it. I gotta be careful because there are so many lines, sketch lines, and I think I cannot erase this because it has to do with the other side's wing. I'm gonna try to be careful with what I erase. Otherwise, it's funny. It's just a sketch. I did it maybe in what, 3 minutes. So, and even then I'm trying to keep as much of it as I can because the main idea is here. I don't have any other reference for it. So if I blow the sketch, it's like starting over again. And I could consider this one as the second iteration as it is. And I think I was erasing something that I shouldn't here. There you go. There. So that's another problem. Another problem. A new challenge. I can select twice the lasso tool. It goes for straight lines. A new one. I can only imagine when guys went to space, the Apollo program, the huge amount of technical glitches that could occur during the trip to the moon. I mean, I watched the Apollo 13, and I can only imagine those 3 guys inside the spaceship or space shuttle. At the time, this wasn't a shuttle, but during the trip to the moon and back, everything that could go wrong did go wrong. And they managed to keep it cool and come back to Earth with the help from the station. Because I don't know if they would have made it if they weren't helped. Just so, speaking about the technical problems and glitches and difficulties. Oh, I didn't finish the sketch. Good one. Well done. Way to go. I'll finish it now. Alright. I'm gonna have to be careful with another thing here. I don't want the character to look too much like a gargoyle. In terms of the shape of main shape, I think it may start to look like an animal, and that's not really the goal here. I want him to have a more anamorphic form, more human morphology. That's why I don't want the wings to be the way they are, because it's gonna relate too much with Earth creatures, and I'd rather try to use a different context in terms of shape or some sort, so the creature would look more like a plant. Maybe, if that's a possibility. I come up with something different. I'll try it in the iteration. Right now, just gonna get basic silhouette so it works. Good. And that's it. There you go. G. Yeah. About that. Just gonna set up the volume, the values I mean. When? And I might also go get those two sketches. I can use them as reference for the value tones, the basic value tones. Yeah, just leave it here. That's it. Match 4. Nothing to do with it. So back to the main file. Put this aside. Got it. I'm gonna just group all this. Oh no, I made a mistake. I'm gonna throw this one away. I don't need it anymore anyways. And I can work with another one. I can always put this one right here. So that's the character number 5, I think. I missed the C. The word is not there. Now, at the front view, I'm gonna have to put some values on it. 13. Good work. Whoa, worked. So it has definitely something to do with the temperature. No, it didn't even blink. It immediately worked. So there you go. I think I finally found out why them brushes. So that's not a glitch after all. Glitch that has to do with the temperature. Always discovering new things with that. And that's it. That's the silhouette. I'm just setting up the tonal values for the silhouette, and I will have to elaborate that. I'll try to sketch. I mean, I'm really not good at it, but I will try to sketch directly in Photoshop. So get ready for failure, big time. I'll try. I also don't really want to convey the idea of plain wings. That really wouldn't look too good to the creature, that he has some sort of wings that resembles too much of a plane, a jet fighter or something like that. That's not really the idea I have in mind. Could work, but I don't know if it's gonna work. I'll see. Anyway, that's a possibility in terms of iteration. Iteration. One jet wing, kind of thing. Now, I was thinking, hey, gentleman Dapper, how are you, my friend? I've been lurking on your channel, watching you play, dude. You yesterday you were playing the Shadow Warrior. Man, I don't know how you managed to keep the flow going. That game is so intense. There are so many things happening at the same time. You really have to be fast. It was fun. I was working and watching from time to time because I was busy. Otherwise, I would chat with you during the playing. But I've been watching. I liked very much the Batman one. That one, the quality of the graphics and the design and technology involved in the game. I think one of the best I ever seen so far. The Batman game or the genre. In the end, you get used to it. Okay. I like the Batman one. That's maybe my favorite from the games I've been watching you play. Although that's a story. In the that kind of game, when once you reach the end of the story, I mean, you're not really in the mood to restart to play again. I don't know. I remember from the times that I played uh, Tomb Raider. By the end of the game, I wasn't really interested in restarting. Once you find out the end of the story, it loses interest. Needs a bit higher FOV so you can actually see something. Uh, what do you mean? I know what FOV is, but you find it not really practical in terms of gameplay. The way because you have the ability to look all around. You know, you are behind the character. Expansions. Well, now you lost me. DLCs or expansions, those are two terminologies I don't really know anything about. The field view is too small, right? And I agree with you on that one. You're close to enemies, you can't see anything except the character. But that also happened in the Shadow Warrior yesterday. When suddenly a creature attacks you, the only thing you get in front of you is the creature. You lose a little bit of notion of the surrounding. At least that was my impression. Unless you are talking about that game. You can't see anything at all. Yeah, as well. That's true. Special effects killed the. I think they used to say in the 80s, video killed the radio. Now I think VFX killed something in the game's realm. But it's not the player. Shadow Warrior. Okay, all right. That's I had the same feeling when I was watching certain parts you are playing. I was wondering how can he drag the creature? There is no notion of from where he's being attacked. first impression I had. How did he know the creature came from one side or another? But you know, they can always do better the next version. DLC downloadable content. Oh, thanks. I learned a new thing today, a new word. I didn't know about DLC. Expansion. You add more content to the game, like another act, some more chapters. Oh, in some games it's possible. Plays like Diablo 2. Yeah, I'm not really familiar with Diablo 2. I remember playing Doom. That's maybe one of the oldest games. And it brought me... and I played also Moon Rising, I think. It has some sort... Of course, those are archaic games, you know, nothing to compare in terms of quality, but the idea of the FOV and gameplay have some similarities. It's a small game. You want to do this? Dude, one thing I found really funny was the expressions. The character, sometimes he speaks some stuff when he's in trouble or when he's fighting. That was so funny, dude. One that stuck in my mind from yesterday was his quotation, I would say like that, of Clint Eastwood. Do you feel lucky? But instead of saying punk, he used a worst terminology. I don't remember the word. The voice acting is nice. Yeah, really interesting. You are educating me in the game area. I'm completely out of the loop because I haven't played for so long. I stopped at I played quite a number of games, but I stopped at Tomb Raider Revelation. That was the last one I played. After that, didn't have time. Life happened. Okay. So I was doing some smoke here. The idea was to make it look like smoke. I'm just gonna leave this as a suggestion, just so I remember. Oh, it's too much. That's not even readable. More time? Not yet. One more time. Yeah, I remember also playing an RPG game. You are talking about that, and what I remember playing is Red Alert. I enjoyed that game a lot. Red Alert and another one. I don't remember the name. It was a sci-fi game, a strategy game where you would colonize planets, and when you arrive in the planet, you would have to fight the other sometimes other competitors that were already in place. You would have to fight those guys, and that was a game I enjoyed playing as well, and it was in the RPG style. Crim Dawn and so on, right? But Spore, I don't remember. I have it somewhere in a box. I got all the games somewhere in the box, but I'd have to check that out. But it's interesting. I like RPG games. I remember now I played three Star Wars games. One had to do with the sequel in the early 2000s. Another one had to do with I think it was Wing Commander, and another one I don't remember now. X Fighter or Wing Commander or something like that. I played all Tomb Raiders until Last Revelation, I think, all of them. What I liked a lot about the Tomb Raider was the having to find artifacts in the game and cues and stuff like that. That was, I think, it was an interesting aspect of the game. It wasn't just playing for playing. You'd have to figure out stuff and find solutions, like it was appropriate to the theme anyway. I'm gonna save it. My crash. What else? I think I already mentioned one of the games I really enjoyed playing at the time was the Interstate 76, because it has the one of the ingredients I'm really fond of is a movie I watched that made a huge impression on me was Mad Max the Second, the Road Warriors. And that game, that Interstate 76, is got more or less the same atmosphere. It's all 70s all the way in terms of story plot, but it had that's what I like, you get a car with all machine guns everywhere, and you get to kick ass on the road, fighting enemies and stuff like that. And there is a story happening at the same time. You have to figure out the character. I think he's a detective, a private detective or something like that. So there is the groove, the funky sound and stuff, characteristic of the 70s. And the car design is my favorite, the 70s. That was an interesting game. Not the quality of a nowadays game, but interesting story. Okay, enough smoke. Okay, he's gonna die if I put more smoke on it. Oh, you you might be able to do that. Yes, I have no doubts. The problem is time. The time is a problem. And one thing I realize is that as you are aging, you get the feeling that you don't have enough time, and that screws up everything. That notion that the day is not enough, you don't have enough time to do everything you want to do during the day, you start to get that narrow vision of things. And I think that that's not really good. I mean, that state of mind, because we end up missing so many things. But I don't say no in terms of games. It's a possibility. No, you see, no, that's not it. That's not the right. Oh yeah, he's got this. His wings are deployed. I don't know why I did this. Now I'm gonna leave it. That's interesting. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but I'm gonna leave that spike. It reminds me those symbols in the cars. Most probably I'll erase it. I'll leave it right now, just for kicks. Because I was talking about 70s cars, I'm gonna leave that spike in his head. Looks like a Cadillac. Midlife crisis. Don't even talk about it, dude. Don't even start me on that. But that's a fact, you know. We think we are eternal until you get in your 40s. Maybe a little bit earlier, you stop thinking about eternity and you start to think about the grave. It's near. It's near every day. It's closing. I'm joking, but that's not really a safe thought. I think I cleaned. Alright. I saw you think you need to play more games now. Not enough time. We need to play more games. Yeah. Okay. The way of seeing things. Not sure on that one, but it's a point of view. At least during the weekend. Which, by the way, I would always play during the weekends. But I was more into games by then. It's gonna be multiplied. And the brush is different. This brush. Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. We need time to sleep. Now that's my main challenge, dude. I don't have time to sleep. And I need it desperately. That's more my struggle. I screwed up. I knew there was a hand somewhere here. I just cut his hand off. Oh man, come on. Can't be good. It was poorly sketched. So, excuse me if I chopped his hand off. Yeah, I agree with that. Time for sleep means more efficient use of work hours. Absolutely. Lack of sleep means less efficiency in work hours. It depends, you know. I have my own strategy. I know that after 4 or 5 days I get pretty tired, and I usually rely on production lists. I'm like a machine. I'm just an extension of the computer. I read the list and I do. And I have developed a system of listing that I heard the noise. Sorry. Oh, something happened. Let me see. I'm just gonna jump. Ah, okay. I'm all alone in another platform. I am multi-casting, and now someone came up in the platform. I'm just gonna say hello. Yeah, I think I might have to consider closing the other platforms because I'm not really paying attention to anything in those platforms. Okay, let me see. I just have that's the last sketch. I have to work another angle of this character when he's starting his flights. I have to figure out a different angle to show it. So that's the dark value. It's not gonna work now because yeah, it's working again. I have this problem with Photoshop. The troubled relationship, Photoshop and me, complicated. The guys got glitches with brushes. Try to work this as fast as I can because today I am merely setting up the sketches. I'm gonna try to work them during the week, all of them, for as much as I possibly can because it's a concept for a character, and I just need to get to know its forms and stuff, so I can remember this is for a personal comic project, and there are maybe almost 20 main characters. I have to learn to draw them all. I already nailed 3 of them, or 4. This one is the 5th, I think. The other ones have only one painting, but I'm gonna have to start getting used to draw them. Otherwise, it takes a long time. Each panel, when one of those new characters come up, I have to do some practice and then go for the story. And this requires a specific mood. During the daily schedule, it's a bit tricky to get in the mood to draw. So that's why lately I find myself skipping that 2 hours in the comic. But I want to get back at it. That's why I thought it would be a good idea to stream it. That way I am forced to do the job. I want to get the habit of doing it, the momentum. That's mainly how I work with everything. Like practicing. Start small and I try to increment by the week until it becomes a habit. Okay, I won't mess with that anymore because that shape is gonna need some work. Just gonna cut out that stuff here because it's not the same tone. I don't want to mix it too much. So if I can clear that just a tab. By the way, it's today I'm improving the resolution of of the screen, it's in a higher resolution, and so far so good. So instead of the usual 1280, today I'm in the 1344 pixel, and tomorrow I think I'm gonna try the 1600 resolution, because at the 1920, man, it lags like hell in Photoshop when I'm painting. So maybe it's the only resolution that oh, that's a multiply. Maybe with just a lower, slightly lower resolution, you will still be able to stream without lagging. Yeah, that's a problem. Mac technology. Well, I'm using an old Mac, you know, the dual core. That's really almost a relic. So I get that it's slow. It was a quadro core. I don't use PC anymore. I used to, but I stopped using PC. I mean, I only have a laptop that I use for video editing, but that's about it. I'm gonna save it. That's about what I do with PC. Sometimes I even forget about the interface. After the version Windows 7, I think, I stopped using PC. So recently I bought a laptop for video editing, and I had to figure out, because Windows is different now. I spent some time trying to figure out the interface. I got so used to Mac during the years that I'm not planning on getting back unless it's really necessary. Elgato Capture software will capture your screen through your graphics card and then transmit it as video signal to a dedicated PC. Oh, okay, now I get what you're saying. Processes it and sends to Twitch. Your drawing computer will have all resources for drawing while you're streaming computer. Very good. I'm gonna check that out. I will have a look at it. But you know, I'm using some strategies. It lagged a lot more until I figured out I could use Photoshop in an external disk. Photoshop is running on an external disk, it's not running in the computer. And only that made a huge difference. Now, the only problem has to do with the resolution of the screen. The only thing I need to work out in terms of solutions. But what you're saying makes a lot of sense, and that might be the answer for this problem. I'll keep trying. I'll keep trying. Weaker, cheaper computer only used for processing your video signal for Twitch. I might really have a look at it in terms of solution. If this works, that could be an interesting way of dealing with this. I mean, I got some PCs, but they are all in the corner. I don't use them anymore, unless I need to use a software I bought a software I bought that I don't want to spend any money on it. In that case, I will use the old PCs. Because then I can stream all without complications. Yeah. So, thank you for the insight about this, because I wasn't really aware. I know I reading something about Elgato, but I didn't really pay attention. You know, it's always on the run. I spend 20 minutes and then I get to go for something else. If the information doesn't catch my fancy, next day I'm reading something else, and sometimes it's important, but I'll figure it out next year if everything goes accordingly. Okay, I think I'm done with this. I got to the fourth sketch batch. I mean, that's not the ideal. I think I'm just gonna try to arrange those values, and tomorrow I'll start again from the first batch, trying to render or clean the form. I want to see if by the end of the week I get something tangible in terms of character concept art. That's the one. The number 5. Number 5 is here. Just gonna number 6, and nothing here. On 7. And now I'm gonna just arrange the values. That's one. That's another one. Okay, just gonna paint the clear tones just so I know they are there. Oh, I thought I created the layer. The layer. Oh, it's working. Surprise. That's the actual shape. Very slow again, but not really important. If it had more RPG elements, it would be amazing. The Shadow Warrior. Yeah. Maybe they will think about it in the next version. I've heard about the game recently. I think it's Red Redemption something. That also is an interesting game. They won't. Never know. Yeah, but that's the style of action game, first-person shooter or something like that. In that style, right? If they already have an audience for that kind of game, they are not gonna change the formula. Unless it pays off. pretty much. Okay, now I'm going to call this done. I got almost 3 hours of streaming, so I was able to set that up below 3 hours of grind, which is not too bad. 4 batches, 7 characters. Tomorrow I'll start the cleaning. Not too bad. Okay, I'll end the stream. So I want to thank you, Gentle Dapper, for coming up and visiting me on the stream. I also want to thank Anna-chan that came up also and paid me a visit on my channel, and Flufford and Xylene. Thank you very much. That's been a joy to have you here, and at least it gives me something to talk about instead of monologuing about what I'm doing on screen, which, oh, by the way, I find awful, but when there's nothing else. So I hope you enjoy your day, and maybe I'll catch you later. See you.